I've got fresh zucchini, I've got eggs, I'm going to cook some Italian sausage, and I'm going to make this delicious zucchini sheet pan casserole. So good and easy. To start, I'm working with 5 large zucchini, and I'm also working with Italian sausage. This is mild turkey Italian sausage. You could use spicy if you like. My husband kind of helped me shred the zucchini. By the way, I love using shredded zucchini in a lot of dishes. I might be sharing them soon enough. Okay, so I'm going to remove the casing from all of the turkey sausages here, and this is mild sweet Italian sausage. And if you want to skip Italian sausage, you could just use ground turkey or ground beef and season how you like. But I love this ground turkey Italian sausage. So in a preheated pan, I'm just going to start adding all of the sausage and just remove the casing. So like I said earlier, you definitely can use spicy Italian sausage. I like to add a little bit, so crushed red pepper flakes. Here I'm adding some cracked black pepper. I'm also going to shake in some onion powder because I like it. And that's optional. So I'm just going to continue breaking this apart and cooking until it is browned. Just like this. Okay, so this is cooked through, so all I'm going to do is just shut off the heat, and I'm going to let this cool while I prep the other ingredients. Okay, so here I have a large bowl. I'm going to put this kitchen towel or tea cloth, works for this, and I am going to basically squeeze out any moisture from the zucchini. This will just help the overall texture of this casserole, this sheet pan casserole. And I'm really making a mess here, but I'll tell you what, I always get requests for zucchini recipes, and I notice a lot of my viewers, and actually my sister as well, people who garden always grow zucchini and tomatoes. So I'm always getting requests for tomato recipes and zucchini recipes. So be on the lookout for some zucchini recipes. I might be posting every now and again, especially for my sister because she's asked. Okay, so I'm having a hard time squeezing this, so I'm going to get some help. Can you squeeze this and squeeze out the water?
Okay.
You got to twist and squeeze into the bowl. Nice. Okay, so this is a sheet pan recipe, so I'm working with a very large sheet pan. This, I believe, is like an 11 by 17. Okay, so I'm gonna add some cooking oil, and someone in the comment section of my last sheet pan video, the one I did with like sheet pan pizza casserole, asked how I did that, and this is how I did it. I put cooking oil down, then the parchment paper. It helps it to stick. Okay, so that is ready. Now I'm going to add all of this shredded zucchini. And like I said, be sure to squeeze out the moisture. It just helps the overall texture of this sheet pan casserole, especially if you want like crispy edges. Okay, so spread that out. I am going to add a little bit of cooking oil, and I'm going to just kind of toss that all together. Make sure it's lightly coated with a little bit of that oil. Honestly, you probably could skip the oil. I just did it because it just felt right. Okay, so once that's spread out, I'm going to season. I'm going to add some granulated onion powder. Season how you like, by the way. I'm going to add some cracked black pepper. And I'm also going to sprinkle on some garlic powder. If you want to add seasoning salt, and you'll notice if you want to add salt to this, like salt in layers, but I'm going to leave out a lot of the salt in this recipe, but you definitely can season and salt to your preference. So in a large bowl, I'm going to work on this batter. So I'm going to crack in 6 large eggs. Now just give that a mix. By the way, I'm going to show you this sound, and the feeling of crunching these eggs is just my favorite. I love doing that. Okay, so I'm gonna beat and scramble these eggs in the bowl. I'm also going to add some cracked black pepper. By the way, season this how you prefer. If you want seasoned salt, if you want some Italian seasoning, some smoked paprika, regular paprika, you really can get creative. I'm adding some onion powder. And you'll also want to add maybe like a half teaspoon of salt. But like I said earlier, I'm going to leave that out. I'm also going to add a half cup of heavy cream and just combine that well. Okay, so for this next ingredient, if you're in a low carb, no carb situation, you can skip the all-purpose flour and opt to use maybe almond flour. I'm going with 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of baking powder into the mix. And like I said earlier, this would be a good time to add like a half teaspoon of salt into this, but I'm going to skip on the extra salt. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just give this a really good mix. And sifting in that all-purpose flour just helps to remove the lumps, and it makes the mixing part a lot easier. So for those of you that have seen my sheet pan pizza casserole, it's kind of like a healthier version to pizza when you're craving it. I have just been in my sheet pan casserole era, so you're going to see a lot of these over the summer. So I'm going to add a handful of grated or shredded Parmesan cheese, maybe like a half cup. You could also add mozzarella, you could do cheddar if you prefer. I'm working with Parmesan, so I'm just going to give that a mix. And this is pretty much the batter, the egg mixture that's going to go onto this. And I'm going to spread it all over this. And you'll probably think you want more egg in this, and you definitely can add 1 or 2 more eggs into this batter. But I really want just crispy edges, so I'm just going to work with what I have today. Okay, so I'm going to scrape the bowl and just sort of spread this out evenly, or as best as you can. So while I'm prepping this, I want to mention this. You essentially could add all of this shredded zucchini into the bowl with the egg mixture. That totally works. Put it in a casserole dish. That works. Okay, so I'm going to get a little more of this Parmesan cheese. By the way, you notice this is one of the reasons that I didn't add the salt into the mixture, because Parmesan cheese is kind of salty, and I'm working with a lot today. But that really is up to you. Okay, spread a little bit more. Now I'm going to add all of that cooked Italian sausage. Remember, this is turkey sausage. And again, if you follow me regularly, I had a couple of people ask for like semi-healthier recipe ideas. So I think this is pretty healthy compared to some of the other stuff I make. And this does come together quick. And it's just another way to utilize zucchini in a casserole. Okay, so the ground meat went on. So now for the rest of the cheese. In all, I grated around 6 ounces of Parmesan cheese. Okay, so this is going to bake in a preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. And once it's done, it's going to look just like this. By the way, it smells amazing. Honestly, this probably took more like 25 minutes to bake, but cook time does always vary because, you know, it depends where you live, the calibration of your oven, and you just want to watch out for it, but make sure at least 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, so you could let this set, but I'm not, because I'm just going to plate this up, cut right into it, and, you know, burn my mouth trying it. Because honestly, this is my first meal of the day. It's already mid-afternoon, so I'm kind of hungry. But check this out. I love the crispy edges in the top, and it really is so easy to put together. Okay, time to dig in. So while I burn my mouth here on camera, I wanted to mention that I have received messages that you all wanted to see maybe like healthier, lighter type recipes, and I have been on sort of a health kick lately. Not to say that I'm on some sort of strict diet, because I like to eat what I want when I want, even though I probably shouldn't. So if you want to see some of the stuff that I'm doing that I don't film, let me know. I'll show you some of the recipes that I've been making privately that really are delicious and filling. But this, you got to try this. This is so good. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.